Hello YouTube, back with the next Yu-Gi-Oh! Review, and today I'm reviewing Classic Monster, the only monster that's actually broken up into 5 individual pieces, Exodia. Virtually Exodia the Forbidden One. If you look carefully in the background, I've got a kit of Exodia in the background as well. I've already reviewed that, but of course, you all know Exodia. I mean, it's made an appearance at least a couple times in the show. I mean, Yugi Moto used it against Seto Kaiba, and then of course, we had various duelists kind of occasionally get close to something Exodia. The Rare Hunter was the only other one that was known for it, aka Seeker. He was the only other one that was actually successful at using it. He used against Joey and almost won against Yugi, but and of course he had Marcel later on in GX and stuff like that. But in most cases, it usually just appeared as an actual character. I mean, Adrian Gecko back in GX would later end up kind of controlling it, wielding it for himself. But as a whole, it's kind of a risky strategy, regardless of how you slice it. You kind of need something as a backup in case you don't win. Because although it's capable of winning the duel in a single turn, if you draw it, especially if you draw it like really early, it needs an entire deck based around it. And even my own Exodia deck does not entirely revolve around Exodia now. I've got a backup strategy that kind of ties it with another strategy. So you can't really, I mean, yeah, there are cards that you draw extra cards, but you've got to have a pretty darn good hand to get Exodia right away. Even in a deck, the Exodia, so-called Exodia Turbo deck, where it's just like, activate a card, draw, keep drawing cards until you get Exodia. But of course, I think a lot of the key cards that would help you draw are banned now, like Graceful Charity and stuff like that. As you can see, I've got the all 5 pieces here. I mean, it still does what it does. It's still, I think, in some ways a bit fearful, but it's not as fearful now. Everything like duels are like what 3 turns now. And just for the record, this is the Secret Rare Master Collection Exodia, and these are all Dark Beginning limbs, if you will. It's kind of the cheapest way to get Exodia back when because we didn't have. I think they've all been reprinted now multiple times, including a guaranteed, I think, release in, I think, one of Yugi's legendary decks, I think the Duelist Kingdom version. But of course, I think we all probably fondly remember Exodia in one way or another, whether we ended up playing it ourselves or, because we just started collecting. It was kind of the good old days of the game. But it's a classic monster, and I think it's a pretty cool monster, too. I mean, it's the only monster we have, as I said, that is broken up into 5 pieces, and the whole lore behind that is that it was just too powerful to keep together, so it was kind of sealed away. And you can kind of see that in the card artwork itself. I mean, they're all pretty similar artwork. Let's see if I can show them a little bit better. You can see a little spellbinding circle bits in the background in the artwork on each of them, including the head. Although there's no, I mean, you only ever see the torso and everything else when it's been completed, and that's when you have all of them on the field. Although we just have them in the hand, and we just review it and say, okay, we win. It's not really that spectacular. The video games also showed it, and some of them are pretty awesome, actually. I think 7 Trials to Glory is one of the best animations for Exodia, and I've even had it happen, World Championship, Worldwide Edition, which was like one of the earlier games that was later got a version called the Eternal Duelist Soul, which is kind of a slower version of that. But yeah, I mean, what's not to really like about Exodia? I mean, I guess unless you're on the receiving end multiple times, you probably won't like it very much. And of course, it's got more support now. Because you've got Sangan and Witch of the Black Forest came back, and then although you can't use their effects that turn, Exodia is not an effect; it's a condition. So you can add any five pieces into your hand with their effects. And since I think they're at 3, we've got Dark Hole, we've got Monster Reborn, we've got just about everything to build the classic Exodia deck that I think I had built in Worldwide Edition that was pretty potent. I mean, you could almost always get Sangan. Of course, the game made it a little more potent because of the glitch that was involved with Sangan. You revive Sangan, I think, or Witch of Black Forest with Call the Haunted. Then destroy Sangan. You get 2. The effect goes off twice. So I took full advantage of that, and that's, I think, partly what allowed me to win so often. But yeah, I mean, that's my review on Exodia the Forbidden One's 5 pieces. Thanks for watching.